Momentum is what carries a football player running 25 miles an hour over stationary defensive back. Momentum is so strong that it can take a pine needle and drive it into a stone wall. When I was working for a telecommunications company years ago, it was a new job. It was the job that I got after I got out of graduate school. And I didn't have a whole lot of money, and I wanted to be really successful. I mean, I could not succeed. And so I had gone around to a lot of companies and handed out a lot of proposals, for the services that we offered. And I remember I had a stack of proposals, one sheet at a time that was like that, 50 or 60 or 70 of them. And I wasn't selling anything. So one Monday morning, when I woke up that morning, I jumped out of bed and I said, today's going to be a big day. Went in the office, first person in the office, made coffee, got on the phone. Hello, my name is Jeff Peden. I dropped you off a proposal about a month ago. I'd like to follow up and see if you'd like to do business with us. I made phone calls all day Monday. Nobody called me back. A little discouraging, right? Tuesday, alarm clock goes off, 6 o'clock in the morning. I jump out of bed. Today's going to be a big day. I live by myself. Today's going to be a big day. Go on to the first person in the office, make the coffee, pick up the phone. I start making more phone calls. Chelsea, this is Jeff Peden. I dropped off a proposal to you 2 weeks ago. Love to do business with you. Would you please give me a call back? Let's talk about it. Made phone calls all day. Nobody called me back from Monday or from Tuesday. Wednesday, alarm clock goes off. I jump out of bed. Today's going to be a big day. First person in the office, make coffee for everybody else. Pick up the phone, make phone calls all day long. Nobody calls me back from Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Guess what I wanted to do on Thursday morning when the alarm clock went off? I wanted to crawl underneath the bed and suck my thumb. Because I was like, and I said no. I got out of bed, I leaped out of bed. Today's going to be a big day. And by the end of the day, I had 3 signed contracts. It taught me a very valuable lesson. If I had not done what I did on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday without anything happening, I would have never had 3 signed contracts on Thursday. That's the power of momentum. 6th thing, responsibility guarantees success. This is something that's a big problem in our world today. You see, when things go right in my world, it's because of me. What's your name? Connor. And when something goes wrong in my world, it's Connor's fault. And I lived my life that way for a long time until I realized that if I blame things that go wrong on somebody else, what's your name? Adrian. If I blame what goes wrong on Adrian, then Adrian is in charge of what happens to me because it's your fault, right? So what I learned to do was I learned to take responsibility for everything, the good and the bad, so that when I made a mistake, Connor, I could look at the recipe and I could change the ingredients so that I got what I wanted the next time I went after it. One of my favorite characters from history is Harry Truman. He had a plaque on his desk as the President of the United States. Can anybody tell me what that plaque said, besides Carl? What did it say, Dan?
The buck stops here.
The buck stops here, because Harry knew there wasn't anybody else to blame besides himself being the President of the United States. Last thing is, gratitude attracts new opportunities. Kenneth, if I ask you to do something for me, I got about 5 left. If I ask you for your help, and you come over to my house and you help me chop firewood for 4 hours because you think I'm your friend, and then I never ever thank you, I don't even offer you lunch, you have to ask me for a glass of water, I never bother to thank you. The next time I come to you and I want you to help me do something, are you likely to help me or not? Probably not, right? Because I never said thank you. But if I came up to you later and I said, oh, Kenneth, thank you so much for your help. Let me go buy you dinner and I owe you one. Let me return a favor. The next time, whether you ever ask me for something before I ask you again, if I ask you for your help again, once I thanked you really well, are you likely to help me or not? Yes. That's the way it works. See, we get wrapped up in ourselves and we forget to thank the people in our life that make a huge difference in our life. And that's one version. The version that I like to play now is that when I am driving towards a big appointment that I want somebody to sign a contract, I'm already thanking the universe that the contract's going to be signed. Thank you for signing the contract. Thank you for signing the contract. Thank you for signing the contract. And because I put myself in that mental state, I get a lot of contracts signed. because I'm in that emotional state that other people get excited about and they want to do business with me because I'm not just going in there all freaked out. I've learned that gratitude and thanking people gives them the opportunity to create more opportunity for me. And what I've learned, ladies and gentlemen, is that whatever success I've created in my life, I can only give myself about 5% credit for. The other 95% are people like Carl Gretz and Dick Wilson and other people in my life that have helped me be successful. And I make it a point to thank them on a regular basis, because without them and without all of you, I can't be who I want to be. Finish with this. This is real simple. I think that we have 3 purposes in life. The first one is that we're supposed to learn as much as we can. I think we're supposed to continue to learn how to be better friends, how to be better at what we do, how to make a bigger difference in the world around us. The second thing is I think we're supposed to grow as much as we can as human beings. The reason we have so much conflict on the planet is because we all act like a bunch of little kids. And we all can figure out what's going on, except Washington seems to have a really big problem. And then Washington has a really big problem with Iran, which has a really big problem with whoever. We have to learn how to take it up to the next step. Remember that we all live on the same spaceship. And the last purpose, I think, that's for all of us is we're supposed to look out for each other. Now let me ask you this. If you had a grandparent or an older parent that was like 70 years old and they were in a parking lot and they fell out of their wheelchair and you weren't around, wouldn't you want some stranger, to stop and help them get back in their wheelchair? If you were a parent and you had a little 3-year-old with you in the mall, and 30 seconds later you can't find that 3-year-old, that 3-year-old is gone, wouldn't you hope some good-hearted human being, stranger, would grab your kid, take it to the whatever center, and have somebody announce over the intercom, "We found little Johnny, come get him." See, we don't live in a vacuum all by ourselves. We're put on this world to learn things and to grow and to look out for each other. And this isn't rocket science. This isn't brain surgery. It's just about doing the right thing. So the choice is yours. Are you going to be the 5% that do something incredible with your life? Or are you going to be the 95% that just settle for whatever you can get, and your life is led by other people's dictation and other people's circumstances? So Chuck is at 30,000 feet. He gets dropped from a B-29 bomber going 270 miles an hour. He noses his aircraft up toward the stratosphere. He accelerates. The winds begin shaking. The instruments begin jumping around in front of his face. His face is pulled back by centrifugal force. And he reaches forward and he shoves the throttle forward. His rocket goes through the sound barrier. There's a big explosion. And everything gets real quiet. Isn't that the way it is in our life when we're up against something really, really big? And we figure out a plan, and we take the action, and we make it happen no matter what, and we punch through that barrier. We realize 2 things. One, it wasn't as tough as we imagined it would be. And the second thing is that we get what we want.